Let's go.
This your back, it dey keep passing. It dey bring out the best thing. I dey feel your recipe. Make you give me that recipe. Fine, fine. Yeah, you fine. You so divine. I dey feel you die.
Welcome back to a new episode of Awesome Entertainment. Dr. Bolton is thrilled, excited. He can't contain himself because he has been watching the original Daredevil, not the Born Again, because the Born Again was ass. The new one, the old one, Netflix. Yes, it is. The old one, Netflix, episode 1 through 4. Dr. Bolton, what do you think?
Trash!
Oh, come on, man. Daredevil?
Okay. When the lady got kidnapped, he ran through the city. First thing he did was he threw his cane. And he jumped up the side of the building, which was cool. But if he don't need a cane, why does he use a cane?
Because he's blind. And if you're blind, you don't want to show people that you have superpowers. So you gotta put on the facade that you actually don't need it. Because if everybody knows you can sense, you can smell me when I walk in, or you can hear my heartbeat from 4 blocks away, then they probably gonna experiment on you or kidnap you or do something, you know what I mean? Or, you know how they treat mutants. So it's like, I'm blind, but I got these superpowers. I gotta keep the facade going.
Okay,
I gotta keep the stick, I gotta keep the glasses.
Right, you understand. Ray Charles, in real life, walked without a cane through cities by himself because he worked out a way that he could do it. This is a movie.
But I'm saying either further to put on the facade that I'm blind, I need help, don't worry about me, I don't have superpower. You gotta distract people from the fact that you got superpower. The fact that you never trip and fall, you never bump into anything, you gotta give people, okay, he's using the stick. People are gonna believe what they see more than what they, don't see.
Okay. We'll let that go. Part of the mystique of this character is getting beaten to a pulp because his father used to get beaten to a pulp. Yes?
True, yes.
What sense does that make? The dude is probably 165 pounds, getting whooped.
He's tough though. That's what the point is.
I get that he's tough, but I'm just not getting it. I'm not getting it. Okay, the lady that's helping him is fine as frog hair. He can't see him.
Mm-hmm.
What woman gets kidnapped, beaten, life-threatened, didn't bother?
A very special type of woman.
Yeah, called make-believe. The guy comes in, pays them a retainer to represent their people. He's the bad guy, representing the bald guy.
Yeah, Kingpin.
He gives them a check that's supposed to be so big and so impressive that they gotta do it.
Okay.
Yet, after they get this check and the check cleared, they didn't get no furniture, they didn't get no phone, nothing.
I mean, you may have some debts, you know what I mean? You may have had some debts, but if you watch, what's her face went to the auction.
She went to the auction, she ordered some stuff they didn't even know about and
spent that money.
But they don't know that. So what I'm just saying, one is too dang dark. The The whole thing, the whole show is dark. They need some light bulbs.
It's just warm. You 4 episodes, you just getting to know the characters. Now you kind of know who they are.
Every episode is the same episode. Something's gonna happen. This chick got something going with her company that killed her friend, tried to kill her. Then they let her go. They offered her some money. She went to go see her friend's wife. The wife took some money, told her to take some money. She goes to a reporter. The reporter says stay away from it. She don't stay away from it. The reporter didn't stay away from it. So that's her little thing, which nobody cares. She's not even good looking. So nobody's caring about her character arc because she's not good looking.
Well, let me bring up. Hold on. You get on him for getting with the nurse because the nurse is good looking, but he can't help the girl who's not good looking.
Nobody cares about her. I didn't say he can't help her. I'm saying nobody cares about her. Because the guy said, do you hire all of your employees that you get off for murder or just the good looking ones? And I thought he was talking about the dude because she definitely was the good looking.
Come on, you ain't got to do it. Some people, everybody got different tastes, man.
Okay, fine. So she's in it. We don't even care about her, but they're trying
to... But it's not about her. It's about why is somebody trying to set up this random girl? What are they trying to hide? What is going on?
Okay, yeah. So they do the business. They do murder. They close down the business, put the business up for auction. Somebody goes, buy the business on auction. That's taking too long. That's taking too long to develop. And you can almost sense that you're not going to care. When it's not developing in a way that you're like, oh, what's going on? Not interested at all, right? So now you got Daredevil. They live in Hell's Kitchen. Mm-hmm. And there's always crime apparent. And he's trying to make things better by being the Avenger with black clothes on, and he don't really have a name for himself. And now they coming up slowly.
It's an origin story. He didn't come out and say, "Yo, I'm Daredevil." This is like he's not Superman and just shows up with a costume on. No, this is I'm just a guy that got skills that's fighting for what's right, and they start building this legend about me. Is how I become devil. There's a devil in Hell's Kitchen that is bringing hell to people.
The Russian guy, they said, who was it? They stabbed the brother in the chest with the adrenaline. Who was it? He said it was the devil. So I'm just wondering where Dare is going to come from. And when is he going to get some
I think the Daredevil part is the fact that he's just a blind dude out here trying to risk it for the good of the people. So you don't like what you don't like the character, you don't like his powers.
The same episode over and over and over again. Just it's
they just warming you up, man. They setting you up for you. Oh, I know what to expect, and then they're gonna hit you with something you didn't expect.
In what episode?
I think the next one, but I don't know. You got to notice, one, I was watching, you was on your phone while he was fighting. That's the best part. You can't be on the phone during the fight. You can be on the phone during the court trial, but when he hit the lights and you know it's about to go down, you got to pause the game.
Yeah, number one, when he fighting, they fighting in the dark. I'm going to tell you the part that you're talking about. They had old girl that was beating her up in the light.
Right.
What did he do when he came to
hit the light? I'm blind.
They fighting in the dark.
This is going to be it.
I'm like, all right, I ain't looking. The only thing you see is the machine gun flash. And the only parts you could see was her hit dude in the head with the bat at the end of it. When he had him in the reverse arm bar, and she killed him. And you said Daredevil didn't kill nobody, but he threw the guy out of the window and he landed on the truck. Didn't he die, or was that the dude in the hospital?
I think he might be the dude in the hospital. I gotta rewatch it. I have an argument because he does kill somebody. That's what everybody's like. He doesn't. I'm like, besides the guy you're talking about, there's another guy who he doesn't mean to kill, But everything that he does up to that point, I'm like, that's all your fault. So I don't want to ruin it, but I do like that part because he get a little cocky and he get brought back down to earth.
Daredevil gets cocky.
Cause he started whooping these thugs. He started getting better, so he started handling the thugs, and then he run into a real one. Is what happened.
Well, I know who the real one gonna be.
Well, I mean, there's a few real ones, but
the only
what do you
real
think
one so
about
far is Kingpin.
Okay, what do you think about Kingpin?
I like any movie like Scarface.
Okay.
Where the top guy is the baddest guy.
Yeah.
Like in Scarface, Tony Montana was the guy you didn't want to mess with. Yeah, he had a lot of people around him. He had Manny. But at the end of the day, when all the people came for him and they got all his people, he was the one that was a problem to deal with. Until he's a little high on his cocaine and he started talking. But my man had rocket launchers and, you know, he came out and he was serving them. And if he would have been leaving as he was doing what he was doing, but he waited on them and let him get back into place. And he wanted to shoot it out with him the rest of the way. When the bad guy is the baddest guy, the head guy is the baddest guy, okay. You like that?
Yeah. So Kingpin is a plus.
Kingpin was a plus, but they went a little far with that.
That last scene that you watched with the car door scene, everybody knows it. They went crazy.
Yeah, I'm like, I mean, first it was cool because it's like, oh, dude, you embarrassed me. Don't kill it. Don't kill it. Because that's what I thought he was gonna be like. Oh, you gotta die, stab, and bang bang. And it was like passenger side.
Because he knows it. The man is mentally unstable. Like, there's nothing to say about it. The man is gone. You find out why.
Boy, he snatched homie out that car and got real with it. And that was the muscle.
Yeah.
He yanked the muscle out of the car and muscled the muscle. But I think they took that. Why would you even do that on a Marvel? I mean, when did Marvel
this is
cutting people in half?
What I'm telling you, this is the Marvel before Disney. This was on Netflix. So all this
Marvel bought this.
Yes. Marvel gained the rights to this, is what happened. Daredevil, remember that Daredevil movie you were looking at? That was Ben Affleck's movie. That was Fox.
Okay.
So Fox had all the X-Men, they had Daredevil.
But still, it's a Marvel character.
Yeah.
They wasn't chopping people in half in the comic book, were they?
Yeah.
Oh, they were?
Yeah, certain characters have darker stories.
Oh.
So Daredevil, like the Punisher, Blade, those characters, they can have like R-rated movies and shows because it just goes along with their character. You wouldn't do that for Captain America just because it's Captain America.
Well, when I think of these comic book movies, I always think Disney.
Yeah, it's not Disney. This wasn't even made by Disney. This is made by Netflix. So anything that you want to find, and this was not like new Net. This is peak Netflix. This is 2015 Netflix.
This is what I don't get then. Why isn't Daredevil killing people if they have this level of violence in it anyway? Why ain't we just killers?
Because that's kind of the conundrum. You want to stop people, but if you become the executioner, how far does that go? Who is that? You know what I'm saying? What if you execute the wrong person? What if you start doing this and that? So he is a Catholic, so he wants to stay with his faith. He's like, look, I ain't murdering people. I'm just trying to throw you in jail, and I'll do the Lord thing to keep you in jail. But I mean, obviously, you got a foe like Kingpin. It's not gonna be easy. Man.
If you know you gonna get killed, and if you tell this man's name, you're going to have to stab your eye on a rusty screw that's sticking out of something. Why did you tell the name?
Maybe you thought you could get away. I don't know.
As soon as he did it, he
Some
was
people
like,
panic.
oh, you should have killed me. If you were going to let him kill you, you shouldn't have told the name.
Hey, look, I ain't never worked for the Kingpin before. I ain't gonna say his name. And look, maybe some people panic or depression. They do the wrong thing. Then think, oh, I should have did that.
Immediately. You might as well try to run. Oh, that's right. You said you're going to. But he said, but he's still going to kill his friends and his family and everybody that knew him anyway.
Didn't he die? Oh, he died. He killed himself.
He killed himself.
Well, if he kills himself, then Kingpin doesn't know that he's the one who gave him away.
That's why he killed himself, because he's the only person who could have given him away. So the fact that he's asking for him by name, he knows he the one did it. So it make no sense. Either he wouldn't know exactly and he could have ran. Because look, if I'm dead and I disappear, you don't know it. So I could at least run. Disappear is disappear.
You can't run because you'd have to get his family and his friends and everything.
But if my body's stuck on this nail and you don't know where I am, you're either going to kill my family and friends because you're going to assume that I'm hiding. I'm just saying, it's just not well thought out. The court scenes is whack. The actor is whack.
Which one?
Daredevil.
What?
Daredevil is whack.
People think that man is really blind to how good he acts.
Blind is not.
I think he's
blind is not equivalent to interesting. Number one. Number two. He's not. It's nothing. Jamie Foxx played a blind man better than him. It's like they say something to him, you go, huh? You ain't supposed to do that if you're blind.
He don't do that. He don't do
Just
that.
keep staring. You know, he's supposed to do like this. Anyway, I keep looking at it, and you said within the next 2 episodes. I'll look at 2 tomorrow. Not my cup of tea.
I think it definitely started slow, especially the first time I watched it.
Do they got any light bulbs in the budget where it becomes a little brighter?
No. Well, I mean, maybe. I don't know.
It was dark.
Yeah, it's a dark, man. All the other shows are dark. It's the whole. They have a whole universe, really, but it's.
Well, they need a sun in this universe. They need some stars in the sky.
This is Hell's Kitchen, man. This isn't L.A.
Man, they wearing that theme out. The Penguin was in this kind of place.
That's
Gotham City is in this kind of place. The only place that got light bulbs is Metropolis.
Yeah. What's wrong with
People
that?
tired of that.
Spider-Man fights in the daytime. It just depends on where you're at in New York.
Ever since Tobey Maguire aged out, Spider-Man was just.
You don't like anything new. There's nothing new.
I like that. I like Robert Downey Jr.
That's not new. That's 2008. That was almost 20 years ago.
Christopher Reeve came out as Superman, I think, in '83. So Robert Downey Jr. is new.
That's not new.
Christopher Reeve.
Robert Downey Jr. is 16. He can't be new. He started.
Christopher Reeves is dead.
That's not new either.
That's new to me.
That's not new.
They started Superman in the '80s. The first Superman movies was in the '80s. Now they had Superman television series that was black and white. That Superman, the Superman killed himself. He shot himself in the head.
That's crazy.
Yeah, the actor that was Superman.
That wasn't a good choice.
He wasn't bulletproof. But anyway, yeah, you know, we had Adam West Batman that came on Channel 32, WFLD TV. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So like the Avengers movies is new to me, you know, because Batman, the first Batman with Michael Keaton and these
aren't new. Michael Keaton.
That's what I'm saying. Those are the movies I saw when they first started making full-length movies about.
I know, but at some point in time, you gotta like a movie that wasn't made in that time. You gotta like a movie that was made.
I'm just saying the point that I said it was new. I said I like Robert Downey Jr.
He's not technically new because he was the first Iron Man. You don't like any of the second versions of the new character of any.
I liked him better. Better than Iron Man, because I think like by the time they got to Iron Man 9, I stopped looking at him. But
you told me those were good movies. Iron Man 3 was terrible. Iron Man 2 was terrible.
No. I didn't say they were good movies. I said I liked Robert Downey Jr. The movies with Don Cheadle was just. I like Don. I'm glad Don was getting that paper, but
they had no villain in the movie. Those movies was terrible.
But he was good. He carried the movie by making this character real and believable, and wow, he's this rich genius with an attitude.
You feel Tony Stark is more believable than Matt Murdock?
Who is Matt Murdock?
Daredevil.
Oh my God. They're not even in the same stratosphere as actors as...
I'm talking about the character. Iron Man is just...
The actor makes the character believable. It wasn't that how Tony Stark was written. It was Robert Downey Jr. sold it. He became Tony. When you think Tony Stark, you think Robert Downey Jr. I don't even know the guy's name.
You don't know anybody's name.
And Daredevil,
you don't know the people who work here's name.
But I'm just saying, he just doesn't sell the part. It's like in Suits. Gabriel Mark is Harvey Specter. He's made you believe that there's a Harvey Specter somewhere in New York. That's the guy. Dude. No, that guy, there's the good acting in it is an unbelievable situation. Like the hot nurse. She's a good actress. Well, nobody cares if she's a good actress. She got fine. But she's selling her role. But her part is stupid. She didn't just get beat from one side to the other. And she like, oh, I'm down. I don't care. All right, whatever. You got the well-known actor who was Kingpin. You know, he's done a lot of movies. But it's overkill. Now I understand he's a character. And
he's overkill or just that one scene was overkill?
Well, that's enough.
Just one scene. They're trying to show you this is the Kingpin. He's overkill. This dude is too much.
And another thing, if you read the comic books, you know what to expect. I'm just coming straight off of movie. I never read the Daredevil comic book. I'm just looking at it, because just as a person, I'm looking at it. I'm going, oh, that was too much. He done chopped the man in half.
But that's what they wanted you to feel in the moment. We wanted you to watch everything.
But that's what I'm saying.
He's gone too far. It's way too much for them.
That was like if you were watching, I don't know. Let's say you're watching. You're watching a movie. And suddenly it turns into a slasher film. And then it goes back to the movie.
Like Kill Bill.
Now, Kill Bill was just bad. But it was like you're looking at a movie that is action and it's fighting, but, you know, it may break an arm or something like that. But you didn't chop somebody in half with the door and the blood is running off of the door. It didn't match the series. Now, if they're trying to make a shock, the shock didn't match. Like that was like, okay, everybody should be getting killed in this. We should be seeing folks getting shot in the face, chopped in the head. It was more movie magic than actual showing you what happened. It's more you see him hitting the door and the blood dripping off than actually seeing the head. They're just trying to show. They're trying to make it feel worse than what it actually is. I got it. I'm just saying, to match the movie, he could have stomped him. And they just show him stomping and you can't, but they got to get to squishing and he's still slamming it. And it was just like, it turned into like a gory movie when no other part of the movie is really.
That's what I'm saying. There wasn't really a lot of gore. It's just fake blood on the door, but most of the stuff you don't see.
Well, I understand. I'm just talking about the mental picture that they were trying to get you to have, because obviously it is a comic book movie. So, but you can hear the squishing. You know, first it's thump, thump, thump. Then, so they're making it clear that this guy is being severed. And then they show all the blood running off of the door, and it just didn't match. It was just, I'll look into more.
It's a violent show.
It's not that it's violent. It's just not good. It's a bunch of fighting that you get tired of. You know, every show he's gonna come in, it's gonna be somebody, and he's gotta.
You can't get tired of the fighting and you watching a superhero show. That's just
no. I'm just saying it's the same thing. It started somebody throwing out the window. Then it's all they took her. Now who didn't know? They're gonna get her somewhere. He's gonna hear her. He's gonna find her, and he's gonna come in just at the nick of time. What if he would have hit her in the head with the bat? What if he just would have hit her in the head with the bat? Oh, he didn't come 2 minutes too late. She did. It's like, okay, you know he gonna come in. It's gonna be 30 guys. He gonna catch all of them one at a time. Yeah, they gonna be 2 dudes standing next to each other. You grab him, and this dude shoots you. And
that's every superhero movie ever. It's literally every single one.
No.
They always get in a fight one at a time. It's like, why did you even do this? But I mean, I think the action in this is better than most of the action because they actually throw punches like they're real punches. It's not like they'll just eat punches like no, that took effort, took energy. I'm exhausted. I'm still trying to fight.
Oh, that was another thing. Yes, he was fighting. They fight entirely too long. A real fight, if you ever fight a round, which is 3 minutes, you are gassed.
They're gassed.
I was looking at that's what I was saying. So I was looking at how long he was fighting. And I was like, bro, really?
Then it's like 3-4 minutes, but they're gassed. He's gassed after it. And it's time he's like, oh shit, I gotta fight somebody. He's like, oh shit, here comes somebody, let me fight him.
Yeah. I'm watching it because you told me to. I kind of knew.
You make judgments before you watch the show, and it dictates how you decide.
If you flipping through something and you see it, you go, oh, that looks interesting. That wasn't a comic book I ever read. That wasn't a comic I ever heard of. Like, I heard of Thor. So I wanted to watch Thor. Thor was whack, but I had heard of it, so that's why I watched it. Fantastic Four. I knew who that was. It was whack. Didn't want to watch it no more. But I never even heard of Daredevil. And then they're trying to build this story. I guess Daredevil has a following. And they're trying to give you bits and pieces, but that's only valuable to people who care and know what's coming. Like, oh, he's gonna get a red suit. oh, he's gonna have horns. Oh, he's eventually gonna be cool. Oh, look, he's got on this black.
I think if you don't know what's coming, you could still be interested in like what's going on. Why is this guy running around in black?
No.
Why is he wearing a mask? Like,
no, you got to speed me up into this is who this guy is, and then bring me back to okay, this is how it started. Because
so you don't want them to. I mean, you got to start from the start. If they say it's cheating, if you start from the middle, because it's the most interesting in the flashback.
You got to get me interested. You got to get me interested. You got to get me vested in it. Right now, is two poor, smart guys with some lady that's working with them who I don't know how anybody paying their bills because ain't none of the business is working. Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? And why did he get superpowers? He got some stuff in his eyes when he was a kid. How did he get superpowers? Why did he get superpowers? And why is it his job to save his neighborhood?
That is his job. That's what he's doing.
I said, why is it? Why?
Because he loves his neighborhood. What? Man, you are buying every house in your old neighborhood and trying to save your neighborhood. If you could beat up people, you would do it and get away with it. If it's cleaning up the neighborhood.
Hey, I watched two more. I
think the thing is sometimes they don't have foreshadowing, so they don't tell you. Like the Penguin, you said the same thing about the Penguin. Mm-hmm. You were watching like it's all right, but I don't know why I care. And it's like they don't tell you. There's a foreshadowing element to make the Penguin continue to watch. Like, okay, I'm waiting for this moment. If you don't know what that moment is, a lot of times in the shows it seems like, why am I watching?
I knew about the Penguin.
What do you mean?
I knew about the Penguin. I knew who the Penguin was. So I'm like, why is he not in the sword? So I'm watching this to see, okay, when are you going to incorporate the sword? And why does he have a limp? Why, how does he get to the top? At least the lady with her crazy self, where's that going? She didn't kill up her whole family? Oh, okay, yeah, we need to check this out. And that wasn't even good because it still didn't have a point. It didn't.
You don't know where it's going. There's no foreshadow. There's no endpoint that you're expecting to reach as a viewer.
Yeah, they didn't build you
like the Infinity War. You know, okay, Thanos is looking for the stones.
Right.
He's gonna get the stone. Right. What's going to happen at the point in time when he either gets them or they don't get it? So you're waiting for that moment. Yeah. A lot of the shows they don't give you that, so you're just like, okay, it's just the story unfolding. Eventually, that's what they're leading into.
Okay, perfect story was The Blacklist. Now that's what you see. Y'all didn't have the patience to watch that.
The Blacklist was also a bunch of the same. It was like just the same episode every episode.
That was one of the best written things I have seen in last 2 decades, at least.
You're the only person who said
no. That was a hugely popular.
The only person I've never had anybody suggest, "Hey man, you check out The Blacklist," except you.
No, because Google it. Hugely popular. Everybody knows it. Just Google Blacklist. They started off with a question, and every time you thought you got the question, something else happened. So when you finally get to the end. And you get
but that was
all the answers because it was really just the final answer you needed. When you finally get that, you don't even know that you got it. When they give it, you got to keep checking back over it and was like,
but that was my point about foreshadowing.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Just letting you know.
No matter what action was going on, yes, it was always the case. Yes, it was always some bad guy. Yes, they were coming together. They were going apart. But there was still this overarching question of who is this guy? There is none of that.
That's what I was just saying. I said sometimes the shows are not set up to where they give you the foreshadow. They don't tell you what
There
the
should be
end point
some
is.
point. The point is, who is this guy? It started off perfectly. It was basically a Beatles song. It was the perfect stanza, chorus, end. First thing they start off with is FBI's most wanted person turns himself in. Why? That's what you're trying to find out. Then you get into the middle. Okay, we know why he turned himself in. Who is he? If he's not this guy, who is he? And you don't find out who it is until the end, because now you done went through, because it's like the show played for like 8 or 10 years. You're playing through all your head, all the logical stuff, and when you get to the end, nobody figured out who it was. It was absolutely ingenious. And so it was like,
I mean,
wow, that was written well. This is like, you're hoping that something is going to come up interesting. Because in the blacklist, either you're interested or not. Here's the question. Now, we're going to have a whole bunch of action and all that, but still, this is the question.
but they just pose a good question at the end of the show, because at the end they write the seasons as they go. So they're like, okay, we're gonna go back to this and say this is who this is. I bet when they wrote season 1, they had no clue who he was. They were just making it up.
That may be fine, but I'm saying it's every time it went to, oh, this is who it has to be.
It changed, and then it got. That's why I stopped watching it, because every time it would be like 5 times. Like, oh, okay, he's this person, and then they change it. It's like, okay, it's not this person. I'm like, y'all gonna do this for 10 seasons straight? I can't do it. I can't do 10 seasons of here's it. You figured it out.
But the thing was, he told her when he met her, I'll never lie to you. And every time the story changed, it was always true. It was masterfully done. It was one of the best. You can
literally write that. If you wrote me a story, and I'm like, okay, this is what he had, I can rewrite it. I can add more to it and say everything you did was true, and I can adjust it. I'm just saying, the time in the writing. It looks like, hey, do you like the Daredevil comic book? Well, we're gonna write a whole bunch of Daredevil scenes. Not, let's really put time and thought in the story. Like with the Avengers, Iron Man, whack. Incredible Hulk, whack. All of the movies individually, whack. The Avengers, Thanos, whomever, this is the overarching issue. The Samuel L. Jackson character, he's the one. That's the overarching thing, and we got all this stuff going. The Avengers was the bomb. Each individual movie of the people, Thor, whack. They wrote the Avengers better. And that was part of why those movies did better. But the individual movies, it was like, oh, just Incredible Hulk is the Incredible Hulk. Iron Man. I feel like the individual movies and Daredevil, they do a more deep dive into the character, who the person is, why they're making the decisions they are. Avengers is more just like, let's get everybody together and fight. That's how I feel. But this one is more like, I like the mental health issue. I like to see like, what diagnosis would you give a Wilson Fisk or a Matt Murdock? Like, you can't be 100% mentally healthy if you want to go out there and beat up people.
He's a sociopath. Or maybe even a psychopath. But that's okay. But that's easy to. There's no development in there.
Yes,
the person that's supposed to have the most depth is this blind guy just trying to do good, but he's really a smart attorney, but he's willing to risk his life but nobody cares. He's not interesting. His sidekick is partially funny, but he don't hardly get no TV time. The girl is ugly.
You can't relate to a guy who wants to do the right thing, but deep down inside, I got the ability and probably the want to beat some people's asses too. I want to kick some ass while I do it, but I have to hold back because my faith, the law. I have so many things in my life that are keeping me from letting that tiger out. That's what they do. You know what I mean? At some point in time,
the actor is not strong enough to sell it. He's just not a good actor. He's not a leading man. There's no one. The lion guy and the villain, the daddy villain, the hunter.
Oh, Craven.
Craven. The villain was carrying the movie when it was supposed to be Craven. It's gonna look like Kingpin.
That's every superhero movie. That's almost every single one except the trash ones.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
Thanos carried the movie. Thanos carried that movie.
No, because even though Thanos was the bomb,
he carried the movie.
And who was Thanos?
Josh Brolin?
No.
The bad guy.
Wasn't Thanos Red Reddington? The voice of Thanos?
No.
Real Red?
That's Ultron.
Okay, same thing.
Anyway. He also carried the movie. That's what I'm saying.
Yes!
The villain always carried the movie.
No. Because you knew no matter how tough the villains were, that's why they had to have good villains. Tony Stark was going to figure it out. That's why when Tony Stark died, everybody was like, what? It didn't matter how strong the Hulk was. It didn't matter how many arrows them other folks had.
I still feel like we know he was going to save the day, but Thanos was the interesting part of the movie. He was the reason why they're like, man, this dude is off.
Yes, they had to make somebody, a villain so perfect that even Tony Stark had to go to the ends of his talent.
But if you look at Iron Man's other movies, like the one I was talking about, 3 and 2, they're weak movies because the villains are just non-existent. You're like, who cares?
I agree with you. The individual movies for each
I think for most
hero were whack. They didn't write them well. All of them together, they wrote
They just fought together. Yeah. But I think the thing that makes it interesting is that the superhero is always supposed to be kind of a goody two shoes. So you're gonna be boring anyway.
Not necessarily.
For the most
Batman
part.
wasn't a goody two shoes. He was tormented.
But is Batman more interesting than the Joker? Like the Joker is still this dude is
Batman was. Because Batman had a whole lot going on.
He got a lot going on, but the Joker's so crazy that it catches your interest. Even if you don't like the Joker, you're gonna pay attention to this clown who's blowing people up.
Yeah, but a good
and you know what Batman's gonna do.
The best Batman was Michael Keaton and the other guy,
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale, in many ways, could have been the best Batman. He was really good. No, you can't have the goody two shoes. It didn't even work with Superman. You had to have a Superman that there was some, like I said, Superman was lonely, and he was, and then he wanted somebody. He had all these powers, but he had to choose between keeping the world safe and being human.
Superman is not more interesting than his villains. When Zod showed up to destroy, that was way more interesting. Darkseid, way more interesting.
Again, you grew up with whack Superman. He had Christopher Reeves. Christopher Reeves was a much better actor.
I watched Christopher Reeves, man.
Well, it don't look
I had
the same.
the VHS.
It's not gonna look the same.
I had a VHS. I was a kid, so everything was great at that point in time.
Okay.
All the Superman, I go back and look like, damn, I used to love this.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's whack now. Don't go look at Christopher Reeve now and think, oh, it's gonna be a great movie. No, that was the first
Some of them
one.
were good though.
But he was an actor that was trained at Juilliard. He and Robert Williams went to Juilliard. So this is a guy who could make you think he was Superman. There's Superman movies. I don't even watch it now. It's trash. It's other video. Look at
Superman look dope. Alright, well I think Charlie Cox is I will say this. This is like what is it? 2015? So this is 4 episodes. I will say he improves. You can't say somebody doesn't improve after 3 seasons of acting. So he does get better. But I think he's a fantastic actor. Vincent D'Onofrio, him and D'Onofrio are the only ones carrying the Born Again redid. But anyway, click the link, scan the QR code, get you a Trust Method shirt, and listen to the music. Watch Daredevil on the Netflix again. Tell Dr. Bolton he's crazy.
Don't play with my patience, man, they gone with the flow when they tryna fake it. That's not the way I roll, that's not the combination. You start off with the dough before you start the conversation. No one start the salutations, man, don't play with me. I'm coming from a place they would hate to be. I'm going through a phase you would hate to see. They say this life's a trip, ain't no telling where it's taking me. When you on the edge and you make your next move, better be your best. Before you throw it to the depths, better reinvest. Man, I count every moment and count every step, so I know I'm blessed. Now it's